Congratulations to President-elect Donald Trump. He ran a fantastic political race with everything against him, with so much opposition, with 95% of the media, legacy media, being against him. He strategically utilized podcasts, and that was brilliant. Partnering with Elon Musk to do that X interview, that got 200 million views right after his assassination attempt. And when he did the Joe Rogan interview, that got 24 million in the first day. It got up to about 47 million, but it was shadow banned by the left because they wanted to slow him down. So Elon Musk put it up on X. It got 90 million views. He did podcasts that had 3 million or more subscribers, and each interview got no less than 1 million views. So he utilized the podcast world very strategically and brilliantly, and he reached more people because mainstream media was cutting him out. Legacy media was painting him all negative, and so he rerouted around that, and that's brilliant strategy. Donald Trump's win is a lesson in create your own path. Everything in the mainstream media, legacy media, was against him. The star power of Hollywood and the music industry aligned with the Democrats. They paid $10 million for Beyonce to appear, gave Oprah $1 million. They were basically buying endorsements. But that star power was not enough to secure a win. Donald Trump aligned with one billionaire, Elon Musk, who donated $45 million a month to his campaign and who got out there and campaigned with him. And it just shows, this is a lesson that if you have a strategic plan, you can still win, even when the odds are against you. When the polls were showing the race was tight and it's anybody's ball game, he just kept going at it. So it was brilliant strategy for the win. I fuck with winners. I focus on the win, and I focus on the strategy used to win. And Donald Trump ran a brilliant campaign. And I knew pretty clearly that he would win because he was doing interviews that were getting more eyeballs. Him doing these podcasts that I'd never heard of. But he was getting 2 million, 7 million, 20 million, 40 million, 90 million views on these podcasts. And with the legacy media, they were only getting 500,000 views per interview at best. So he went with the podcast world. He focused his time and energy there. He made time for them. He made them a priority. And that's what secured his win. This is the moment that Donald Trump secured the presidency. This moment will go down in time as the most presidential moment in the history of presidents. This was iconic. This was historic. This was legendary. And the reason that the media did not announce that it was Iran that attempted the assassination was they wanted people to keep believing that this was staged. It was not staged. They announced right after he won that it was the Iranian forces that attempted to assassinate the 45th president of the United States. And Donald Trump knew because he said it in his flagrant interview, which means they notified him. that it was Iran, but they told him don't say anything for security reasons. And they wanted him not to say anything until the presidential race was over. Well, actually, they did state it correctly. He has 34 felony counts, but he was not sentenced. So, therefore, he is not a convicted felon. That they're stating that incorrectly on certain blogs. And in terms of the 6 bankruptcies, if anyone ever had a business or knew anything about business and being a millionaire, you know that 2/3 of millionaires file bankruptcy. Bankruptcy laws were established by the wealthy to absolve them of any debt they incurred starting companies and businesses, and to give them a fresh start to try again with a new idea and a new company. So to say he has 6 bankruptcies is actually a compliment to him, because it shows that he failed, he got this reset, and he started again. And he's in the company of 2/3 of all millionaires who use the bankruptcy laws to their advantage. And that means 2/3 of billionaires also have filed bankruptcy, because before you can get to a B, you got to be at an M. Before you're a billionaire, you were a millionaire. And every single millionaire knows that bankruptcies are a business strategy. They are a business maneuver. Only uneducated people will say things like bankruptcy is a bad thing. Only people that have never had a business, that don't know anything about business, will think that that's an embarrassment. It's called strategy. Donald Trump is not a convicted felon. He was found guilty, but he did not have sentencing. And until you have sentencing, it doesn't apply. It doesn't stick. So people saying anyone that voted for him voted for a felon or voted for a convicted felon, it's not a true statement, because his sentencing was delayed until after the presidential race. So people that voted for Donald Trump voted for the president-elect. They did not vote for a convicted felon. Once again, it does not apply until you go to sentencing, and the judge then hands down your sentencing, and that's when the paperwork is complete. It was incomplete until sentencing. The sentencing was delayed. That's why there were no dates set for when he was to either be arrested or be on probation or whatever the sentence would have been, because they delayed the sentencing until after the election. So anyone that voted for Donald Trump voted for the 45th president and the presidential candidate. You did not vote for a convicted felon. That sounds good, but you have to talk to an attorney. And I spoke to an attorney, and they said he's not a convicted felon until you have the sentencing. Brilliant marketing.
$10 million for Beyonce to step up and back Kamala Harris publicly. $5 million for Megan Thee Stallion. $3 million for Lizzo. $1.8 million for Eminem. I mean, is that normally how it goes? You spend $20 million, you get yourself in debt to try to get a bunch of rich celebrities on stage? I'd never seen that. Maybe I'm ignorant of the fact, but wow.